It's the disturbing video raising concerns about alarming behavior on the rise. A live stream of the crash that killed a 14-year-old girl. Why a growing number of social media users are sharing unsafe and sometimes criminal activity. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
It took just seconds for this Instagram live stream to go from dangerous to deadly. The driver shockingly live streaming the aftermath.
My sister is dying.
The video sparking interest and disgust nationwide.
We'll move on now to that tragic car crash in California.
We begin with new details on that wreck involving sisters.
Made even more tragic that it was being live streamed by the person who is behind the wheel.
Police say 18-year-old Abdulia Sanchez live streamed this hill ride through central California while she was heavily intoxicated. Swerving past that black SUV, her 14-year-old sister and another teen in the car with her. But then the ride turns deadly. Police say the 18-year-old Sanchez began drifting off Route 165. Then she overcorrected, the car tumbling, the three girls inside screaming.
Please wake up!
Shockingly, with her sister Jacqueline lying lifeless, she continues to live stream.
I killed my sister, okay? I know I'm going to jail for life.
It's very disturbing to us because the callous nature of her actions, both leading up to this tragedy and in the immediate aftermath.
Sanchez has been charged with gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated and also driving under the influence. She's being held on a $300,000 bail.
If it is determined that it was at least a contributing factor to the accident, that she was on her phone and that she was showing this live, she could be charged with something up to manslaughter, which means serious time behind bars.
The passenger who survived the crash, 14-year-old Manuela Ceja, speaking out about that horrific incident.
I never thought this would happen.
These shocking incidents seemingly on the rise. People live streaming dangerous and sometimes illegal behavior on social media.
I think as our technology increases, we're going to see new innovative ways that people do or commit crimes. And here, the new technology is live streaming.
Found me somebody I'm about to kill. I want to kill this guy right here. The old dude.
In April, a nationwide manhunt for the so-called Facebook killer.
I'm at the point where I snap. See the thing?
Steve Stevens, believed to be responsible for a random act of cold-blooded murder that he streamed on Facebook Live.
How old are you?
Oh, man, look. Taking the life of 74-year-old Robert Godwin Sr.
This man right here was a good man, and I just hate, I hate he's gone, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
A 48-hour desperate search ensued, ending in Stevens killing himself.
Looks like there's one guy down in the white car.
And just 3 months earlier, 4 18-year-olds charged with the beating and racial taunting of another teenager with special needs.
Smack his ass!
That video also broadcast on Facebook Live.
Why you do that?
Those suspects arrested, and they're now facing hate crimes charges. They've pleaded not guilty.
When you live stream, you literally now have potentially millions of people watching what you're doing. It's attention.
I think people are weaponizing it to some extent. So they're showing shocking things to people who don't expect to necessarily see shocking things. That sense that I can shock the world, I think, is a power that a lot of people crave. But it's now easier and easier to do that with live streaming.
More recently, 5 teens filmed and mocked a 39-year-old man as he drowned. Not a single one of them called 911. His body was found 5 days later. Many say those watching those horrific acts bear some responsibility also.
I tell people every day that if they witness something either on the net or in person, they need to contact authorities. I would like people to look at these live stream events just like they were at the event. If you see somebody being assaulted, you're either going to step in yourself or immediately get law enforcement there to jump in the middle of it. Think about live stream in the same sort of view.
In Chicago, authorities say as many as 40 people watched the alleged gang rape of a 15-year-old girl, but not a single one of them called the police. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson expressing outrage at the lack of action.
It just disgusts me that people would look at those videos and not pick up the phone and dial 911.
Adam Alter, the author of Irresistible, The Rise of Addictive Technology and the Business of Keeping Us Hooked, says watching online offers a cloak of anonymity.
When you're watching something like this happen from a computer screen, you feel a great diffusion of responsibility. You're also probably a long way away from the action. So psychological distance or remoteness is more likely to diminish and dampen helping behavior.
As a result of videos like these, social media companies are now looking for ways to better monitor the content of their products. Facebook says it'll soon have about 7,500 employees reviewing questionable content. That's about a third of the company's workforce.
We need a way for viewers to flag content as inappropriate or unacceptable so that we can stop a live stream midway rather than perpetuating it, allowing it to continue for 10 minutes past some horrendous act.
Social media companies may be able to take videos down before they go viral, but they won't be able to put a stop to people themselves posting those videos.
This really boils down to discipline, parents having very strict rules about when kids can live stream, etc. Hard to control, I get all that. But this really has to start in the home as far as monitoring or controlling or limiting this behavior.
I think live streaming is causing a lot of fear, especially among parents, because their kids are using live streaming in ways that aren't safe. Tech companies that are savvy will recognize that fear, and they'll recognize there's a gap in the market to be filled, and I think some of them are already doing that quite successfully.
This is your daughter.
Verizon's product Hum alerts parents when their teenagers are driving too fast.
So you can set this, and if she drives like this, you can tell her to drive more like this, because you'll get this.
Sprint has Drive First, which sends calls to voicemail and silences alerts when a driver's going more than 10 miles an hour.
Blocks and replies to texts while you drive.
And Chevy has developed the Teen Driver mode that mutes the radio if the front seat drivers aren't wearing their seatbelts. In Central California tonight, Sanchez remains in jail. Her sister would have turned 15 on Sunday. For Nightline, I'm Matt Gutman in Los Angeles.